Good afternoon, everyone. You've got the B team. You've got me this afternoon, and you've got me on Thursday. And I'm just finishing melting the chocolate for this, which I did in advance. And one thing we do need is to preheat the oven. And I'm just having a check to see what temperature. So I need it at 180 degrees. So I'm just going to check that it's 180. So that's preheating, and the chocolate is almost melted here. Obviously, it's putting it above some hot water, and that is good quality dark chocolate. So that's green and blacks, 70% cocoa, and that's been, as I said, melted in the pan. It just needs to cool a little now, so that's why I've done that in advance. I'm going to pop that to one side, turn the gas off. And so in a moment, Alexander will put the recipe up in front of you. So hopefully you'll see the ingredients list appearing before your very eyes. And I said, hopefully also you can hear me coming through loud and clear whilst you're getting the ingredients list. So just, I'm going to talk you through it now. If that we can have the ingredients list disappear off the screen, and I will talk you through what we've got. So we've got, as I said, 100 grams of plain, good quality plain chocolate already melted, because that needs to cool for a little while. 125 grams of butter, which I'm going to beat in a minute. That has been, I've had that out for a little while just so it softens. You've then also got 275 grams of caster sugar here, 85 grams of plain flour, 2 large eggs beaten, a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of good quality chocolate powder. Again, that's a green and blacks powder. And this recipe actually started off as having pecan or walnut pieces in it, but because Matthew is allergic to nuts, I've substituted those with a good amount of Cadbury's Dairy Milk chopped up. So these are sort of double chocolate or even triple chocolate brownies. Those sort of stay as lumps in the brownies. So whilst the recipe asks for 100 grams of nuts, that's probably about 250 grams of chopped dairy milk. This is completely calorie free, like all of our other recipes. So I'm now going to just whisk the butter and beat the butter, and then I add the sugar to it. So I'm now going to I'm just checking that so I've now beat that until soft and creamy, and I'm going to add the sugar and the vanilla essence. This is where I need more than one hand.
You've had a question.
What's the question?
Can you do this using dairy-free butter and no eggs due to allergies?
That is a good question. If I'm honest, I have no idea.
I expect the dairy-free butter would be fine.
Yes, I suspect the dairy-free butter would be fine.
I'm not sure about the eggs, but I'm sure there'll be something substitute put in. Yeah, I'm sure it can be adapted. Yeah.
So that should be now. That should be soft and fluffy. And now I'm going to gradually put in the eggs. So I will have the mixer on. So we have, so we've got then the eggs, and now it's time for the flour, which I've pre-sifted the cocoa powder and the salt. I'm going to do this one thing at a time. There's a pinch of salt. And finally, the cocoa powder is going in. I'm not going to mix any more because that's putting the mixer under a bit of pressure. So now I'll use the spoon that I used for the vanilla essence to get as much of that mixture off as possible. I do know that there are some really good chocolate brownie recipes around that are gluten-free and I think probably dairy-free as well, but I'm afraid this is not one of them. This comes from the same place as the creme brulees. So it's a recipe that I've had for a long time but haven't made in a long time because the brownies don't tend to last very long and the waistlines seem to suffer, as Alexander has said. This is where probably if I wasn't on camera I would use my fingers. So who do we have with us today, Alexander? Who has joined us live?
We have Sarah.
Hello, Sarah. Good afternoon.
Natasha.
And Natasha, good afternoon.
That is all that have commented.
That's all that's commented so far. All those who are with us, good afternoon. I am going to use my fingers. These are clean. And now, this is where we have the melted chocolate to go in. I'm going to get rid of the mixture on the spoon. And wash my hands. And so now we mix this in. So I'm going to pour all of this in. That's cooled enough. Making sure I get all of the chocolate. And picking up any mixture or any ingredients that didn't make it through last time. You see some white in there. So that's the mixture, and now, as I said, we just chuck the dairy milk in and mix that in. To ensure a good distribution of the chocolate pieces. I probably could have added a few more, but that will do. Now, the recipe suggests that it's a 20 centimetre square tin. This obviously is a rectangular tin, so you use sort of what you've got around to give a good bit of depth to these brownies, and all being well, they come out nice and sort of moist and gooey, which is the best way to have brownies. So into the tin it goes. And with the spatulas, these are great things for getting the mixture into the corners of this. You'll see I have put some baking paper in already just to ease it coming out of the tin. So try to make it as even as possible around the tin to give a good layer. We'll go back to the smaller spatula. Try to get all of this off. There'll always be some, of course, left on. Try to work it into the corners. There we are. Now, as with others, this will come out of the oven in about half an hour's time. I'm just going to check. Yeah, so 30 to 35 minutes, and this is a case of testing it with a skewer to see when it is done. And I shall come back to you in half an hour or so's time to see the results. And it needs to cool before it comes out of the tin, but we will come back to you just as we bring it out of the oven. But that is chocolate brownies with extra chocolate, and I'm going to pop that in the oven now, 180 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes. So the alarm has just gone on the oven to say they're ready. They needed a couple more minutes, but here goes. Rather pleased with those. You'll see that we put the skewer in already, but I'm going to pop it in again. A nice, fairly clean skewer, and all being well, those will be nicely. I will hold those up. That's what it should look like, hopefully, and all being well, those will lift out. The top, once cooled, will have a nice sort of crunch to it, and then all being well, underneath will be nice and gooey, and as I said, not a calorie in sight. On Thursday, join us again at 2 o'clock, and I will be doing a really, really simple recipe of a long-standing Smith family baking called chocolate orange bars. It's really, really simple. So join us on Thursday at 2 o'clock for that. Tomorrow morning, a slice of heaven at 11. Same on the other days of the week. Saturday morning, we have another Desert Island Discs with a guest who is going to talk about his Desert Island Discs. And on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock, we have our film club, and that's Victoria and Abdul, available on BBC iPlayer. Have a watch of that and join us on Zoom as we discuss and pick apart the acting and the film, and that should be really good fun. Judi Dench stars in that, so it's a really, really nice and really, really good film. So cheerio, everybody. Enjoy your chocolate, or not your chocolate orange, your chocolate brownies when you make them, and it'll be great to see some pictures of the fruits of your labours. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock and back again on Thursday morning and afternoon. Stay safe, everyone, and we will see you soon.